Hello, Sarah Klein here for more Yoga Sutra study. This week brings us to 1.5. Ttayaḥ, pañcatayyaḥ, kliṣṭākliṣṭāḥ. This sutra, Patanjali is telling us that these vrittis, these mind waves, these fluctuations in our personal energetic field, these vortexes that capture our energy, the vritti, come in 5 categories. And within those categories, the vritti can be painful or non-painful, or we can consider it as helpful and supportive or not helpful, or even neutral. So to really understand this sutra, we must get clear on what came before it. So first, Patanjali has defined the state of yoga as yogas chitta vritti nirodha. And he's pointing to this state between the fluctuations of the mind, a state of inner stillness, peace, contentment, the space between the thoughts. And he's given us insight on when we drop into that space of inner stillness, we rest in our essence, which is brilliant, luminous, and connected by nature. And when we're not in that state, Yoga Sutra 1.4, we really miss the point and we get confused, deeply confused. We get all entangled and we think we are the fluctuations of the mind. We think we are the identities that we play, and we really miss the point of our essence. And so if we choose to walk this path of yoga and to start to study the fluctuations of the mind and start to look at the space between, well, we're going to want to understand what these vritti are. And Patanjali is pointing to the opportunity to categorize them. However, these categories are not not rigid, as the diversity of vritti is so vast. However, if we start to really witness them, we'll be able to distill them down to these simple 5 categories. And then the great opportunity is to recognize when we have a thought or a fluctuation within the consciousness, we get to discern, is this helpful or is this not helpful? And then get to remember, because yoga is the process of reclaiming and remembering that that thought is not us. And can we disentangle from it? And again, find that space between the thought and the action. So, in regards to it being helpful or not helpful, that brings us again to the definition of yoga, which means unity. Is this thought bringing me into a consciousness of unity? Is it bringing me closer to the people, the beings around me? Or is it creating separation? Is this thought bringing me closer to my innate wholeness, my remembrance of my eternal essence, that peace and that spark of me that is independent of my outcomes, of the roles that I play, the identities that I wear, the status of my relationships, and etc., etc., etc. So when a thought arises, we get the beautiful opportunity to start to discern, hey, first of all, what category of thought is this? Is it helpful to categorize? Sometimes it is, in the sense that it helps us to discern and disentangle from it. It helps us in that process of recognizing, hey, I'm not these thoughts. These thoughts are coming and going. They're not my eternal nature. And then as the thought arises, you get to say, hey, is this one supportive? Is this bringing me closer to the consciousness of yoga, which is reclaiming my innate brilliance, my raw potential, and my ultimate remembering of the connectivity, the unity of all beings and all things? Or is this thought separating me? Is it limiting me? Is it a self-limiting belief pattern or tendency? Is it sucking me into a vortex of vritti that is pulling my focus, pulling my energy away from my greater intention? All right, so next week we will learn what those 5 categories are, and as we go through them, we get to discern what coloring are these categories under. Are they helping me on the path to remembering, or are they hindering my process and really pulling me away from the objective, the aim, the experience of yoga? All right, thanks for watching. As always, comment. I want to hear from you. Is this landing? Is this supportive? What are your questions? How are you integrating this into your life? Have you been practicing studying the Yoga Sutras? What my real intention is, first, of course, to revisit these for myself and hopefully breathe life into them for you so that you get the opportunity to go do some self-study on this. It's where they really come alive. And share it, like it, comment. Thank you. Have a lovely day.